You are about to sleep very deeply and very soundly. The thing that people often get wrong when they try to sleep is that they confuse it with a place. You cannot go to sleep because sleep is not a place, and you cannot get sleep because it's not a tangible thing that anyone can get. Sleep just naturally occurs when we stop trying. We relax our bodies and our minds, and sleep just arrives like a train arrives at a platform. You need to be at the platform, ready. And imagine if you stood at a platform, impatient and frustrated that no train had arrived yet. So you decided that you will try another platform. You would never reach your destination because the vehicle was unable to collect you. The ticket required to board the train is relaxation. And when you have your ticket in hand, the train just naturally arrives. It really is as simple as that, but for many of us, we find it difficult to relax our mind. And when we get into bed, our mind wakes up and becomes a circus. We have slowly programmed our minds to associate bed with racing thoughts, memories of past conflicts, or concerns of the future. So we are running around a station, hoping that a train arrives. And it always does. But we make our journey way more stressful than it needs to be. We spend more time running around platforms than sat on a comfortable train, resting on our way to the following day. This audio program uses specific language patterns that allow your mind to drift off and for sleep to arrive, while simultaneously reprogramming your mind to associate your soft pillow with mental relaxation. So give your mind permission to drift as you listen. It does not matter if you lose your place, or if you find at some point that you were not listening. That's how this program is designed. This is not about trying at all, it's about drifting off. So make sure that if you're listening on YouTube that no other videos are queued after this, because you will be sound asleep. And you can download it from the link in the description. Now I want you to start by focusing on your eyes. Softly close those eyelids and focus on those tiny muscles around the eyes. And relax them so much that you know that they just don't work. And when you're confident that they are relaxed so much that they don't work, you can try them. And when you try, you will feel that they're unable to open because you've relaxed them so much. And of course, you could just open them at any point that you wanted to. But that's not why you're here. So with those eyes completely relaxed, so much that you know that they just don't work, you can take that feeling of relaxation and imagine spreading it all the way down your body like a warm blanket of comfort, all the way down to the tips of your toes, releasing all of the tension in all of the muscles, every nerve, every gland and every organ, completely loose and limp and lazy. Now all you need to do is listen to the sound of my voice. Or you can listen to the silence that lives beneath the words. Because sometimes the things that we don't hear are far more telling than the things that we do. And as you lie there, trying to remember to forget the things that no longer matter, you may find that it's far easier to forget to remember what you were thinking about just a moment ago. After all, the thoughts that you had a minute ago are no longer here, and the thoughts that you will have a minute from now haven't arrived yet. So the mind that tries to keep track of time is tracking something that doesn't actually exist. You might wonder if your left hand is more relaxed than your right eye is heavy, or if the heaviness in your right eye is actually a reflection of the relaxation growing in your left foot. And because you don't need to know which side is leading the way, you can let your right brain understand what the left brain is ignoring, whilst your left brain ignores what the right brain already understands. It's an interesting thing, the way the mind tries to look for sleep when sleep is already looking for you. And when two things are looking for each other, they've usually already met without realizing it. You don't need to try to fall to sleep, because trying implies that there is a distance to travel. But how can you travel to a place where you already are? The harder you try to understand these words, the more the subconscious mind realizes that understanding is completely unnecessary. It's like trying to remember a dream you haven't had yet, or forgetting a word you've never spoken. You know how to sleep, and you know that you know how to sleep. But you can also forget that you know and just let the knowing happen all by itself. The conscious mind can get so caught up in the wondering whether it's drifting or floating whilst drifting, that it completely forgets to notice that the body has already decided to just let go. So as the meaning of these words begins to blur into a comforting sound like rain on a roof or wind through the trees, you can permit that busy analytical part of you to simply retire for the evening. It has done enough work for today. You can hand over the keys to the subconscious mind, which knows exactly how to guide you down. It reminds me of a time that I was visiting the old botanical gardens in the countryside. The stone walls there were centuries old, covered in thick green ivy. I met an old gardener who spent 40 years tending to the grounds, and he told me that the secret to this beautiful garden isn't forcing things to grow, but understanding that the natural rhythm of the seasons is permanent. He points to a massive oak tree and said, "That tree never worries about when the winter is coming. It just knows how to drop its leaves when the time is right, trusting the ground beneath it." And as I watched the branches sway slowly in the gentle breeze, it made me think of an old clockmaker that I read about, who lived in a quiet village. He spent his entire life working with intricate gears and springs, creating beautiful, winding timepieces. He spent years trying to build that perfect clock, but later in life he realized something profound. He discovered that the most beautiful part of any mechanism isn't the movement, but the stillness when it winds down. He began creating clocks that would deliberately, beautifully slow down at the end of the day, the gears smoothly interlocking, moving from a frantic tick-tock to a long, heavy, silent pause. And as he sat there by the warmth of his fireplace, watching the pendulum swing wider and slower, he looked out of the window at a beautiful, isolated cabin nestled deep in a quiet forest. Inside that cabin, there was a large, ancient library filled with hand-bound books, and on the desk lay a beautifully crafted journal, its pages soft and thick. The ink on the page was completely dry, representing a story that was fully written, finished, and complete. There was absolutely nothing left to add to it, no revisions to be made, no problems left to solve. The book was already closed. And looking at that finished book, a profound sense of relief washes over you. Your subconscious mind completely understands that your day is now fully written. You can safely let go of the need to think, to plan, or to figure anything out. It's time to reprogram your energy, shifting effortlessly from doing to simply being. Deep, restorative sleep is a natural, inevitable process, and your body knows exactly how to return to it. As you close the book, in your mind, your eyes become incredibly heavy, your breathing deepens, and you allow yourself to drift down into a deep, peaceful, untroubled sleep. The cabin is perfectly dark now, save for the dying embers of the hearth, perfectly still, perfectly quiet. And back in the workshop, the old clockmaker finally closes his eyes, resting deeply, listening to the absolute silence of the mechanism as it has completely wound down for the night, safe and at peace. And the old oak tree in the botanical gardens continues to stand rooted deeply in the supportive earth, resting under a blanket of stars, completely still in the quiet of night. And now, as you stand at the top of a gentle, softly lit staircase of rest, we begin to move down. 10 quiet steps down into the deepest peace. And if you're already drifting, if your eyes are already closed and your mind is already dreaming, these numbers will simply wrap around them like a warm, familiar blanket, carrying you deeper. 10. Breathing in quiet comfort and breathing out all effort, stepping down. 9. Letting the muscles in the face go completely soft as the numbers themselves are untying any remaining knots of tension. 8. Drifting down further into that beautiful twilight space where my words don't even need to be understood, just felt. 7. So heavy, so safe, a profound stillness washes through every cell. 6. Halfway down the steps now. It feels so wonderful to just let go, to let the world outside dissolve away completely. 5. Deeper now, entering that quiet sanctuary within your own mind where absolute rest belongs to you. 4. Every breath carries you a little further down, like a leaf floating gently through the evening air, down to the forest floor. 3. Almost entirely arrived, right on the gentle threshold of profound, healing sleep. 2. So close now, where the thoughts become faint whispers, and the whispers become beautiful silence. 1. Deeply, softly, completely at rest. With every muscle in your body now mimicking the heavy, untroubled weight of a velvet curtain at the end of a grand play, and with every out-breath your shoulders sink down like soft wax melting effortlessly into warm, supportive earth, as your eyelids are heavy as ancient stones, closed for centuries, beautifully sealed against the light. A river of warm, golden liquid relaxation flows from the crown of your head, washing away the dust of the day. Your jaw releases like a boat untying a knot from a quiet pier, drifting slightly apart in the calm water. Your arms feel as dense, as comfortably weighted as heavy bars of gold resting deeply in the velvet lining of your bed. Your chest rises and falls like slow, rhythmic swell of a vast, calm ocean beneath the moonlit sky. A profound stillness spreads through your core, like snowfall blanketing a silent forest, hushing every internal murmur. Your hips and thighs dissolve into the mattress like a drop of ink diffusing softly into a glass of clear, still water. The heavy comfort anchors you down as though your entire body has become a peaceful mountain, utterly immovable and at rest. Your analytical mind steps down from its watchtower, blowing out the lanterns and locking the heavy wooden doors for the night. Thoughts become distant smoke rings rising from a chimney, thinning out until they completely vanish into the night air. You hand over the compass of your awareness to the silent captain within, who knows the exact coordinates to the shores of peace. The puzzle pieces of the day lose their edges, melting into a single beautifully soft, featureless blur. Your mind becomes as perfectly still and mirror-like as a dark obsidian glass reflecting only the silent stars. The spaces between your thoughts expand like vast, quiet distances between constellations in the midnight sky. You step out of the frantic mechanism of the clock and sink into the timeless expanse of the deep ocean beneath it. Your conscious awareness softens into a fog, turning my words into distant, rhythmic hum of the evening rain. You permit your thoughts to become completely transparent, like ghosts of clouds fading into a clear twilight sky. In the future, the very moment your head hits the pillow, a soft tidal wave of sleepiness will instantly submerge your awareness. Every single time you pull the duvet to your chest, it will act as an invisibility cloak, shielding you instantly from the outside world. The specific embrace of your bed will serve as a master key, instantly locking away all of the logic of the daytime into a vault of silence. Whenever you close your eyes in the space, it will be like a heavy velvet theatre drape dropping, signaling an immediate intermission to thought. From this night forward, extinguishing the light will throw an internal switch, instantly flooding your system with the dark honey of deep rest. Your pillow is now a sacred sanctuary of absolute peace. The moment your cheek touches it, your mind clears like the wind blowing away smoke. Taking just one deep breath while lying down will act as a trapdoor, dropping you instantly back into this exact depth of trance. Each time you return to this bed, your body will instantly step back into the familiar, deeply worn groove of absolute comfort. The texture of your bed sheets will be a physical password, instantly granting your nervous system full access to total serenity. Going to bed will feel like returning to a warm, ancient home where the fire is already lit and the bed is perfectly waiting. Your subconscious mind effortlessly weaves your evening routine into a beautiful automatic bridge leading straight to the land of dreams. Deep rest is an ancient, well-mapped forest, and your footsteps know exactly how to find it without any light at all. You trust the deep, quiet tides of your physical body to pull your awareness down into the ocean of sleep perfectly and automatically. Your brain files away the pages of today's story, neatly shelving them in the dark library of your memory while you rest and drift and dream. You slide seamlessly from this trance into sleep like a swan gliding from a quiet riverbank into the still waters of a dark lake. Your sleep will be deep, subterranean well of healing water, replenishing every cell with quiet, vibrant energy. You are cocooned inside a forest of absolute safety. Any outside sounds are just distant birds chirping outside the thick stone walls. Your mind drifts like a paper lantern floating gently down an endless quiet river at twilight, and you surrender entirely to the gravitational pull of the earth, letting yourself sink into the soft, velvety darkness of the night. The boundaries of your awake self melt away like a single snowflake, landing softly on a warm, still palm. Every syllable that I speak is a gentle snowflake landing on your thoughts, burying them beautifully in a silent whiteout. You are drifting so far down that my voice is just a faint echo of a bell ringing in a valley miles away. The gravity of sleep is now an irresistible, beautiful weight pulling you down into the deepest, softest canyon of rest. You let go of the shoreline completely, letting the quiet current carry your boat out into the vast, silent sea of oblivion. The dark, star-filled blanket of night wraps tightly around your consciousness, gently turning off every light. Your breathing slows to match the deep, slow pulse of the sleeping earth beneath the house. You are standing on the very edge of a beautiful warm cloud, and it feels so effortless to just step off and float away. All effort evaporates like morning mist, leaving only the pure, hollow expanse of absolute surrender. Your eyes are completely locked in the dark. Your mind has found its quietest room, and the keys are safely hidden away, drifting, dissolving, fading like a footprint in the sand washed over by the gentle, eternal tide of sleep now until the morning.